Hi, everybody. We're giving Pascal the whole microphone today with a new series that I'm calling Pascal's Take Life, Love, and French Standards. We asked our community, our audience, to send in questions on social media and on YouTube about dating, relationships, about marriage, friendship, aging, all sorts of things. And because why are we doing this? We have a lot of comments about the show, which is really great, and a lot of comments about Pascal and just that people love your unfiltered takes on things. Some people don't love them, but some people do.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter,
It doesn't
right?
matter.
We'll take everyone. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. You're in my hometown with Jamie and Pascal. Are you ready, Pascal?
I am.
Okay. All right. So what I wanted to start with is, what is a French standard? Since being French is so part of you,
Yes.
and we had just discovered, or I discovered, that in one of our recent episodes that you did not speak English when you came here to the US, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That you have picked it up here. Do you think that Americans are too forgiving in the way we are? Do you think that French people are too demanding? Sort of starting you off on just a little bit of a
French-American culture.
Yes,
So
thank you.
I think there is a huge difference of the American versus the European, and I'm talking French particularly. We live in a country where, number one, we are known for fashion, we are known for food, we are known for design and architecture, and as you know, Paris is considered as the city of light.
Yeah.
The opportunity we have as an European is we have a lot of country next to us. We have Spain, we have Italy, we have Germany, we have England, we have Greece. So when an American travels, most likely he will go from Chicago to LA, Chicago to Colorado, Chicago to Florida, Chicago to New York. When we in France, we go from Paris to Italy, Paris to Spain, Paris to Rome. So I will have to say, without being condescending by any means, but I just think that the European has a little bit more joie de vivre, savoir-faire. We have a lot more culture, obviously. We're a much older country. We're just going to celebrate 250 years anniversary in this country, which is remarkable what we've done. But when I moved in the state, to go back to the first question you asked me, in 1978, I had what we call the American dream. I didn't speak a word of English, and I had $5 in my pocket. I just wanted to come to America because from Europe, America was the land of opportunity. And I realized that the only way to succeed in this country is to learn the language, as you know. I mean, if you can't speak English, you can't go anywhere. So that was my priorities. And the second is to work very hard to be able to make yourself something. That's basically my understanding of it.
Yes. All right. That's good. You always are very put together. Is that necessarily the Frenchman in you, or is that just you?
The Frenchman in me. Like in France, as you could see, I mean, you've traveled all over Europe, and you see in Europe, we take pride of our appearance. Why we have the world designer from Yves Saint Laurent to Christian Dior, and everybody dressed up in France. We don't wear baseball hats, we don't wear sweatpants, we don't wear gym shoes. So I think to me, what I stood here a little bit different than the American is I dress. I like to dress. I like the culture of having a nice clothes, nice garment, and have a good presentation.
A lot of people have made comments about your accent, and it's been surprising to me about how many people, both. I mean, some people love it. Well, most people love it. It's always...
Some people don't understand it.
Right, and some people don't understand it. And some people asking why you still have it.
You know, I came to the United States, like I just told you earlier. I didn't speak a word of English at 21 years old. So I learned the language in a bastard way, by watching TV, by reading the newspaper, by understanding. And I really never mastered the language as much as I would like to. So the accent for it sometimes it's very funny, Jamie, is when I go to Paris and I go into a store, and I speak French to them, you know what they said to me? Oh, you speak French very well for an American. because over the years I roll my accent. So in America, in America, I have the French accent. In French, I have the English accent.
Yeah, isn't that? I love
Isn't
that.
it?
Yeah, it is interesting. So you've been married 2 times, and you have kids with both of your wives. You have a long-standing salon business. Big history here in Chicago. You haven't lived in other. Have you lived in other places in the U.S.?
I live in New York when I started. I moved to New York when I moved in 1978. I went to New York first. And I stayed in New York for about 4 or 5 months, and I realized then that's not the city for me. So my next step was, my game plan was New York, Chicago, LA, Florida. And then, New York didn't like it. I came to Chicago. And then I love Chicago, and I ended up staying, and I had a job opportunity in Chicago.
Right. So we talk a lot about dating, relationships, and everything. So like I said, we asked for some questions, and we're gonna have you give your take, because you're not shy about giving your take, and that's what people love. We're gonna call this "Give People What They Want."
Yes.
So okay.
Okay.
So what's the biggest dating mistake that people over 50 make?
Settle in too quickly.
Settling
Too quickly because of loneliness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the main thing I see. People are tendency to settle for less than what they want just because they don't want to be alone.
Would you separate that too between men and women? Is there something else in particular that women are doing or that men are doing? Or are they both settling?
I mean, you might not like what I have to say about that.
That's okay.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. I mean, I think when a woman is in the early 30s and, they have the power. They have the power to choose whatever they want to choose. When a woman passes a certain age, and I'm not going to say the age, all of a sudden the power is reversed. The man's got the power. And so I think to me, when she's 23, 25 years old, women are much more selective, they're much more picky, they're much more difficult than when they are in their 50s. And the difference now for a man when he's 25, 26, is not that difficult, not that picky, but when he's in 50s and 60s, he's a lot more picky.
Wow, that was a hot take. I'm going to take that in. I'm just going to take that in. So what you're basically, what I'm hearing.
Men, okay, again, I think you might not like that, Jamie.
Right.
Okay, I think as men get older, they appreciate it.
Yeah.
As women get older, they depreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like to hear that, and I would think that a lot of other women don't. But I see things play out in a way along those lines. I don't know exactly, but in the sense that I've mentioned this before. I have some absolutely stunning friends who are in their 50s and we just met one, Aaron, Tim from The Age of Attraction, and that are in their 50s and they're single and they're gorgeous and they're talented and they're intelligent and they're successful and cannot seem to find a decent guy. But yet I see these guys who don't seem that they're necessarily that attractive or even that successful. And they, after a divorce, they seem to be scooped right up and they seem to be on the move.
Okay, so my
What's your take on that?
My take on that is, yes, we've met Erin. She's a beautiful, attractive-looking woman. She's 50 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not old. I think to me, it's a beautiful year for a woman.
I think she's 50.
Whatever. 50,
okay, yeah,
52,
in her 50s.
In her
right.
50s.
Okay, yeah.
It's a beautiful year for a woman.
Uh-huh.
But most like men in the 50 will date a 35 to a 40. They will not date a 50 years, regardless how beautiful she is or how beautiful the woman is.
I hear you, and again, I know my reasons or what I think is the why. Do you think, we've talked a little bit about this, do you think that some of it is society and the movies and TV and things that we're exposed to where we see these men like Harrison Ford or these old, Robert De Niro, and they're in these movies and they are with these younger women?
Yes, I mean, I think there is...
So we're like, what's the word? We are being sensitized.
Sensitized, yes, sensitized. But I think it's always been known, I mean, before De Niro and George Clooney and anybody, men's always want a younger woman. And then younger woman wants an older man for a reason is because financially they want.
I don't want. That's where we argue all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want an older man.
You don't want an older
No.
man, but that's you.
Okay.
That's you. But if you see what's going on up there,
Right.
you will see a lot of older men. And when I said old, not 80s, 90s, I'm
Right.
talking mid-60s, late 60s,
Right.
who are very successful and hanging with a 35 years old woman. They have what we call an arrangement. They have an understanding. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make you look good, and you're going to take care of me.
Right.
I'm gonna
I
have
just don't have. I haven't been exposed to a lot of those ladies. I don't want to make a judgment. It's going to sound like I'm making a judgment, but just people that I are in my contemporaries that I have grown up with were all women, young women in my 20s and 30s who wanted to make it on our own. We were all working. We all had really big jobs. I was never searching for someone who was going to take care of me.
That's you.
I was making
That's
my
you.
own
That's you.
way.
That's you. There is. Okay, let's just rephrase the conversation. If you have a woman who is successful, a woman who has a career, a lawyer, a doctor, or stuff like that, she will not settle for anything less than what she wants. But for a woman who's got a shitty job, who work in Marshallfield or sell clothes in a clothing store or work in a pharmacy store, yes, she's going to want security, and the security, she will have more tendency to set herself up with a guy who's got money, who is older, who's going to take care of her.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the fact.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what it is.
All right. This is, I have to remind myself that this is Pascal's, wait, what did I call this
Pascal.
segment? Pascal's take life, love, and French standards.
Oh,
Okay.
my
So
God.
let's keep going because
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know why it's not Jamie's. Okay.
Okay, that's
so,
I want to make sure this is my point of view.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is not Jamie's
Right,
point of view.
right,
Okay, Jamie's
okay.
asking me a question, and I'm answering you as candy as I can, as
Love
honestly as I can, because that's what I see when I go out. I mean, I live in the city. I've lived in the city my whole life. I'm out all the time, and I go to a lot of events, and I see what I see, and I report what I see.
Yeah. Good. I love it. What is the biggest red flag that you see on a first date?
Alcohol.
Oh, right. For you personally.
For me personally.
Okay, that's good. And then
What-
answer. So for you personally,
For me
because your
personally-
lifestyle.
Yeah, if I see somebody drinking 2-3 drinks during dinner on the first or second date, it's a little flag for me.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, there's a movie on Netflix that just released with Jennifer Lopez
Yeah.
and Brett Goldstein. Have you seen it? It's called Office Romance.
No,
You were
no,
not home
that-
Friday night watching it?
Okay.
And the first scene is Brett Goldstein on a date, and the woman proceeds to get drunk. She's drinking these margaritas, and then craziness ensues.
Yeah.
So that's just what came into my head.
Yeah, but I
So,
think
yeah.
that alcohol is the number one thing. And number two, you're talking in general or you're talking me? If you're talking,
How about advice that you would give to someone? What do you think is a red flag for someone on a first date?
I mean, obviously, on the first date, when you take a woman on a first date in a restaurant, you see what she's ordered. You see what, if she observes lobster, steak and cake, then she's taking a little bit advantage of the situation. I think when she's ordered a
A
lobster,
side salad. She should order a side salad.
yeah, I mean, she ordered. No, I mean, I think there is a certain woman who will say, "Hey, look, he's taking me for dinner. I'm gonna hit the whole menu. I'm gonna take the most." I mean, I went on a date well back, and we go to the bar, and I said, "What would you like to drink?" And she said, she looked at the waiter, said, "What kind of champagne do you have?" And the guy said, "We have Veuve Clicquot, we have Moët & Chandon." I said, "Can I have a glass of Moët & Chandon?" Okay, that was a $47 glass of wine, champagne. Already right there, that was a red flag for me.
Okay.
And she was never been a second date with her. I think to me, if you want to order a glass of wine, order a cocktail, it's acceptable. But I think for you to go to the extreme and say, "Hey, he's going to be paying," I just think that's a red flag.
All right. I love it. Okay.
You know what also the
Yeah.
red flag? I think it would be very nice when you go out for a dinner and the woman say, "Hey, would you like to split the check?" It's good. That's good. It's never happened. Women
But
always
again,
expect
because
the
you're
man.
dating these women who want to be with older men because they want to be taken care of. So why would that woman
Jamie,
then
first
ask to
of all,
split the check?
I've never dated a younger woman. I date women age appropriate, 50 and above. At 50 and above, they should know
That is
exactly.
a younger. So you're saying you don't date young women, but you're dating younger women.
I'm dating women pre-golden.
Going golden.
Going golden. Yeah,
Right.
pre-golden, going golden.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
Okay. This is our vernacular.
I want to make
Going
that
golden,
very
golden.
clear, okay? Okay.
So right. And so those women are not looking to be taken care of.
No,
Right,
I
because
mean,
they've already established
they
themselves.
establish themselves,
Right.
they have a career going on,
Yes.
so we're not talking about the young kid who doesn't know where they're going yet. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This is really good. All right. People who want to date you, that's good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What immediately makes someone attractive?
Presentation, the way a woman carries herself. I think it's very important to me. It has to have a certain elegance, a certain style, certain fashion. I like sexy, I don't like sleazy.
Right.
I like cleavage, I don't like to show the whole breast.
Right.
I think the way that person carry herself, the way she dress, it doesn't have to be expensive, but she's well put together. Somebody who take pride of herself.
Right. What do you think is a good first date outfit for a lady?
Depends of the lady. I mean, I think to me, obviously, sometimes who fit her, who compliment her figure. I'm not big on heavy makeup. Her hair down.
Are you good with jeans? If someone
jean. I think if it's a fashionable jean,
Right.
I wouldn't want to go Levi's or,
Okay.
fashionable jean, a nice purse. And you could see the sense of fashion, the way, in my industry, you judge a woman by the shoes she's wearing, the purse she carries. And you could see if the shoes are well and fashionable and the purse she carries, you know that woman has a sense of fashion,
Yes.
a sense of style.
Yes, agree. So you should sort of give thought to that.
Yes.
Okay. You were talking about how you think too many people are settling, but someone asked us a question about sort of this idea of lowering their standards just so they could be with someone, but you would never advise that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you should ever lower your standard.
Right.
You should go for what you want and what you like, who make you happy, who please you visually, who stimulate you emotionally and mentally, who challenge you mentally.
But what if it was one of your friends, maybe their expectations are so out of whack? Have you ever told someone, to lower your expectations?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I have a friend of mine who are looking and say, oh, look at this one.
Right.
I mean, you're not in the same calibers.
Right.
You're not in the same league, I think. Just bring down your expectation based on who you are.
Right. So it's not necessarily lowering your standards, but your expectations.
Expectation. I mean, you get a guy who's like, heavy on a heavy weight, and you see that girl walk by and say, oh, look at that ass, look at that fat cheese. I
Right.
say, look at you. How you talking about her? Look at you. So I think men has tendency to be more critical than women are. They are much more critical. They don't look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh, look, I'm overweight, I'm losing my hair, my skin's not that great. But, I think you got to look at who you are and evaluate yourself and act based on who you are.
Right. But you would never say lower what you want just to be with someone. This was asked by two people. How much texting is too much texting?
Texting is too much. I just think to me, you hide behind the word. We have a tendency today, it's very easy to take a rejection through text because you don't see the person. But it's not easy to have a conversation and be rejected because you feel it personally. Like when we have our guests in our hot seat, you and I like to have them and look at them and feel their energy. It will be very difficult to do it in Zoom and texting to each other because we don't see the body language. You don't feel the heat. You don't feel the chemistry there. So to me, texting is a no-no. Texting for me, say, hey, I'm be there in 5 minutes.
Okay. But not right. But not communication.
Not communication.
Okay.
How are you? What are you doing? What are you eating? But no.
Okay. When you go on a date, how long do you wait to connect?
Have
with
sex?
her? No, to connect with her afterward. Are you texting the next day? Are you calling her? The next day?
I think if you go, it's sad to say, but it's the game. You have to learn how to play the game. And that's the way our society works. So if you go on a date and you really like the person and you text her to right away, it's like you sound desperate. Okay. If you take her 2 days later, or if you text her a week later, you're not interested. So there is very in the middle, in between, where after the date, the couple of days later, said, I had a very good time. I said, what day are you available? And, when will be the best time for me to call you?
Okay.
I think try to get from the text to the call.
Okay. But you do admit that no matter what, there's a bit of gamesmanship
Oh, yes,
on it.
definitely a game.
Right.
Yeah, definitely a game. Hard to get, most likely for women.
Okay.
I'm just, again, speaking as a man. I don't know. If you ask a woman, they're going to say the opposite.
Right.
The opposite.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the way you see it is you feel it's a little bit more on that end, that it's like a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game.
We just talked with a gal who met someone, and it sounded like this within the same hour that they were going somewhere. He was like, let's continue to keep our options open. And she was a little bit frustrated with that. I think that it would have benefited her for her to have said, agree. I want my options open too.
Definitely.
And that shows the guy that you don't care so much, that you have a connection. But yeah, I could have a connection with someone else too.
Definitely.
There should have been a little bit more.
Yes, I agree with you. I think, you're in a group and you meet someone. It doesn't mean then that's it. You meet that person, you date that person. I think when I was in the dating scene, I was dating a lot of different women until I found one I want to settle down with, and I focus on that person. I think to me, you give your option open until you find the person you want to be with.
Right.
Yeah.
And it might scare the guy to think that you just want to, close off.
There's desperation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What's the deal breaker that most people overlook?
I think communication is key, to be able to communicate, understand each other, have conversation about the past, present and future. I think it is very important to know what your goals are, what the goals are. Talk a little bit about her work. If you show that you have interest about what she does, and same thing with her, interest about what you do, and just have fun, just being yourself. You cannot pretend to be somebody else, because in the end of the day, you are who you are, and that who you are will come up in the long run. So I had a friend of mine I introduced a while back, and that woman, my friend, loved golf. And when I introduced her, they used to golf all the time. Golf. They end up getting married, they end up having children, and all of a sudden I say, honey, I'm going to play golf. She said, why you always play golf? All of a sudden she doesn't like golf. So she played golf because she wanted to please him, and then she did what he wanted. But when she was committed and have a certain security with the children, all of a sudden she became who she is. But she never liked golf. It's like,
are you sure she never liked golf, or just golf? Their life has evolved a bit, and so golf can't always be front and center.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I think that's what the point was. Yeah, it's not like she didn't like golf. I mean, he was to an extent where he was doing too much golf and not less time at home, and because of the kid can change. So he had to be able to say, hey, look, I'm going to be with my family, and instead of playing 4 days a week, I'm going to play 2 days a week.
Good.
It's all about compromising.
Yeah, for sure. What keeps a relationship alive, do you think?
Communication, similar interest. Have a sometime in common you like to do together. Like if it's working out, if it's go to theaters, if it's to go take a walk. I think what keep alive is the chemistry. You have to have sex. Sex got to be great. And then as you get to know the person, you get better and better and better, and then you more open, more confident. But I think to me, sex is a very important part of a relationship.
What's gotten better with age?
Maturity, understanding better yourself, know who you are, know what you like, know what you don't like. And as you get older, you don't give a shit about a lot of things anymore.
Right.
Things who used to bug you doesn't, and you just, more relaxed, more laid back, and you don't do 10 because you don't want to do it. You do it because you want to.
Right. Someone asked us about a friend. One of your friends doesn't like the person they're dating. What would you do about that?
If some of my friend doesn't like the person they're dating?
No, a friend doesn't like who you're dating, or you don't like who that person's dating.
I just think my friend, I have dated some women where my friend didn't like them, but they keep their opinion for themselves, because my true friend want me to be happy, and if they know that I'm happy, they'll
Their
accept
mouths
it.
shut.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's when you break up with them, they tell you, "Oh, I couldn't stand her," you know.
Okay.
And then you go back with her again.
Right.
You know, it's happened a lot.
Okay.
Where you go out with someone, your friend doesn't like her, but they accept her because they love you. And then you break up with her and say, "Oh, I couldn't stand her anyway. She was this, she was that." And then you end up going back with her again, and you find. So the advice I give is keep your opinions.
Okay. That's
Don't-
very
don't-
good advice.
never
You heard
said-
it here.
Yeah,
Right.
keep your opinion for yourself.
Yeah. What's more dangerous, staying because the chemistry is incredible or leaving because it isn't?
I think stay because the chemistry are incredible. I think we have tendency to stay in a relationship because the chemistry are incredible.
Right.
Men has tendency. Remember one thing: men are physically versus women are emotionally. If men are fulfilled sexually, they will cope with a lot of shit just because they fulfill sexually. But I will say then sometime then you look at it and you said, okay, sex is great, but the rest doesn't go. And in the end of the day, it has to be both.
Agree. Someone ghosted me a year ago and now they're back. Do I give them a second chance?
You know what? I've done that in the past, and I realized that the wrong thing to do. You know, I don't want to be the second option. I want to be the first option. If they were going out with me and then they end up breaking up with me and they come back a year later and you open the door again, the most likely that person's going to do it again.
Right.
You know, so you don't. And I'm guilty for that. I've done it. I've went with someone, and she went back with a boyfriend, and then we move on. And a year later, we went back together, and then she went back with a boyfriend. I should have known better. So the advice is, if it doesn't work from the first time,
Right.
don't take her back.
Okay. Do you think you can go from friends to lovers or lovers to friends?
From friend to lovers.
Like you've been friends with someone for like 10 years. Do you think you could possibly like start to date that person?
No, I think my friends, no, not for me. When they are my friend, I share with them and my issues, my problem. They give me some advice, and I just don't think then, no, you can't go from friend to lover, but you go from lover to friend.
Do you have friends that are former girlfriends?
I don't keep it. Yeah, a couple of them I keep in touch, but not really. We don't go out for dinner.
Right.
You know, if I see her somewhere, hey, how are you?
Right. You're not enemies.
No,
but you're not necessarily hanging
never,
out.
Never,
Okay.
and never end a relationship in a bad term. If it doesn't work, it's two people who make it happen, not one.
Someone asked, at 55, someone wants to quit their job and start over, but everyone says they're crazy. What would Pascal tell them?
I mean, if you have a game plan, we live longer and we have a tendency to recycle ourselves. I mean, I've been in a business for about 40 years and I reinvent myself every decade, basically, in my business. I evaluate. I think if somebody has a great ideas and they believe in what they're doing, go for it. If you have the financial stability to be able to do it, yes, do it. Reinvent yourself. Take a chance.
Right.
What life is about.
I know.
Taking chances.
Right? It is. And 55, I mean,
55 is young.
It's young.
Young. 55 is young.
A woman goes on a first date and the man spends the entire evening talking about himself. Should you give him a second chance because maybe he was nervous, or do you think that that's the red flag?
That's a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a red flag. I think to me, when I was dating and I go on a date, I'm more interested about the person. I want to know about her. I ask her a question: where she's from, where's the family, brother, sister, job, the challenge she's facing. Like, I want to get to know her. It's not about me. Me, we got time.
These are good questions, right?
Jamie, wow, where did you get all those from? ChatGPT?
No, you use chat all the time. I don't use it as much.
I use ChatGPT.
Some of these are from people,
Yeah.
and then others are my own
Wow,
questions.
good
Okay.
question.
Your partner has a very close friend of the opposite sex, and they've known each other for years. Like, would that bother you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, yeah, you're
Absolutely not. I think to me, I have a girlfriends of mine who I adore, who I love. They are part of my life, and the person I'm dating will have to accept them. If they don't, that person is not for me.
I've talked a lot about long distance relationships, but someone asked about that. Has your take changed about long distance?
I mean, I think long distance relationships are very challenging. I'm the type of person where I like to have access to my partner. I want to see my partner more than once every 2 weeks, and I don't want that the financial burden to have her flying back and forth. I just don't think that those long distance relationships are working very well.
Okay. Successful women who are looking for love, what is the big one piece of advice that you have for them? I think I know it because I think you gave it to this gal recently, which was, wait, I'm going to say it. Okay, you say it.
Tell me.
I think that you're going to say, don't look for it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I mean, I think to me is when you're expecting the least, that's when you meet the one. You know, I've always said that when you're chasing sometimes you never find it because you're trying too hard and then you settle for less than what you want. I think meeting someone organically, it's the way to meet that person and see where it goes. I mean, versus going somewhere and looking for somebody and want to meet somebody and settle for less than what you really want, just because of we're not used to live alone. People like, you know, I mean, I grew up in a large family and I've always had people in my house. Over the years, I learned how to be living alone and I enjoy living alone. But humans are not meant to be living alone. We like community, we like people, so I think we have tendency to settle just because we don't want to be lonely.
Right.
And that's the main thing.
Right. Well, I do think, companionship it's very important in people's lives.
Yes. I mean, with the friends, going out for dinner with friends, you know, I mean, having somebody to do things with, I think it's wonderful than be by yourself and do nothing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Well, I've enjoyed this. You always have very good advice. Let us know if you liked this new series, and we'll have more questions for Pascal to answer.
Enough and mature enough to understand that. So don't blame Jamie, just blame me. She's just the messenger.
Right. That's good. All right, great. And subscribe, like, and comment, and we will see you next time in my hometown.